Hello there everybody, Saban92 aka Nightmare, and welcome back to Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Justice for All. Aside from some audio and visual glitches that happened, that's mostly because I set myself up to record for a very long time. That seems to happen whenever I do extra long recordings using the Elgato and the Switch. I'm not entirely sure, it's probably the equipment, or maybe it's just the way I've got everything connected. But anyway, Edgeworth is back. And, well, I don't know. Maya's still kidnapped. We did our investigation, and while we did at least acquire some information, it feels like there's still some things that we are severely missing right now. I'm not entirely sure whether I should believe Celestia Impacts is the actual killer or not, but I don't know. I'm just... Obviously, I got a little heated because Maya got kidnapped. I mean, can you honestly blame me? But I just don't know. Part of me was just more concerned about my safety without the investigation, which is bad. I mean, I should put my focus on the investigation. But I don't know. This is one of those. This is a complicated situation. Regardless, let's see how far I can get. Crazy Fox, get off YouTube! March 22nd, 9:47 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 3.
Adrian did it?
That's what it looks like.
Dude, no way! That woman couldn't do anything like that!
In court today, there will be a mountain of evidence that will implicate you.
A mountain of evidence?
I'm certain there's someone out there trying very hard to pin this whole thing on you.
Please, Mr. Lawyer, dude, like I said yesterday, I'm refreshing like a spring breeze, alright? I can't let any sort of scandal ruin that.
You're more concerned about your image than you are whether you're in it, proving your innocence or not, dude. I understand. Well, it's almost time. Oh, never mind. I heard the female text and I thought it was Von Karma, but no, it was Mia. Mia. We must get a complete acquittal today. I know. But I can't focus on Maya's situation right now. Or Pearl's either. No matter what, I have to focus on winning this case by the end of the day. Indeed. Well, let's get going. Oh, fuck. It's him! This is right!
Good morning. This is it, Mr. Attorney. The day of the trial.
Maya, she's unharmed, right?
Well, when I checked on her earlier this morning, she seemed a bit, how shall we say, tired. Don't worry. People don't die that easily. Besides, what you really should be concentrating on is winning today's trial. For my sake as well as yours, you must win today's trial. Which is why I sent you a little present this morning.
A present? What in the world would you want to give to me?
You'll figure it out once the trial starts. And even if you don't like my gift, I expect you to graciously accept it and win the day's contest, if you please.
Wait! The kidnapper sent me a present.
Mr. Lawyer, dude? Who was that?
No one. It has nothing to do with you, so forget you heard anything.
Dude, did your nose just get longer?
You could tell I was lying. That's kind of bad. 10 a.m. District Court, courtroom number 3. Where's Karma? Court is now in session for the trial of Matt Ungod. But where's Karma?
Are the prosecution and defense ready?
The defense is ready, Your Honor. Is she hiding under the desk, or?
I say, Mr. Wright, what happened to Miss Von Karma?
I don't know, Your Honor. Why are you getting mad at me? Your Honor!
Please be quiet, bailiff. Court is now in session. If you must tell me something, please keep it brief. Now then, what is it?
Prosecutor. Prosecutor Von Karma has... this morning, Miss Von Karma was shot by an unknown gun. What?! What?! Shot? Is she okay?
Somehow, I think this is the present that man was talking about.
Listen, I might not like the lady, but I didn't want her fucking dead. I wanted her ego knocked down a little bit. I didn't want her life expectancy erased.
His present. Miss Von Karma is one of the top prosecutors in the country at the moment. If she were to disappear, it would be to your advantage.
No. We do not resort to violence in that situation. I don't care if she whips us. That's a bit extreme. This is totally insane. You're telling me. Miss Von Karma, is she all right?
I don't have that answer.
She's alive and in stable condition.
Ah, that's good. Whew.
You're... I thought he'd show up. Edgeworth! Your Honor. Due to the circumstances, Miss Franziska Von Karma cannot appear in court today. Are you gonna take her place? I, Miles Edgeworth, will be taking her place. Why do I make commentary? The prosecution is ready. Naturally. Now you're an opponent I can get behind dealing with. This I have no problem with. Miss Von Karma was shot in her right shoulder and is currently undergoing surgery. Her shoulder! How ironic! Who else in her family got shot in the shoulder? Luckily, I have looked this case over and am familiar with the details. The prosecution seeks to prove the guilt of Mr. Matt Ungod.
The court acknowledges the prosecution.
Right. I finally found the answer I was struggling for on my long journey this past year. By the time this case comes to an end, you too will know the answer. Now then, the prosecution would like to call its first witness. Please bring Detective Gumshoe to the witness stand. I like this theme that's playing for Edgeworth. It's really good. It's like a triumphant sort of return theme that's going on here, which makes me, oh, so happy that you're my opponent. Witness, your name and occupation. My name's Dick Gumshoe, sir. I'm a detective down at the precinct. For now.
For now?
After this trial's over, I'm supposed to turn in my badge, sir.
What? Detective Gumshoe?
The prosecution has no need for a depressed witness. Lift your head up and face forward like a proud officer, Detective Dick Gumshoe. Yes, sir! Dude, turning in your badge... Well, to be fair, your pay's been deducted so many times, it's probably more expensive to work as a detective than it is working at a freaking fast food place or something. Good God, man. Also, happy that Edgeworth is kind of giving him, like, a boost in confidence, like, stand proud! Now, let's have your testimony. If we want to explore the various facets of this case, we must start with that.
Get ready, Phoenix. This is going to be one very rough fight.
Yeah. It'd have to be with Edgeworth as my opponent. The answer he was struggling for. Interesting. Show me this answer you finally found, Edgeworth. Alright, Gumshoe. Give me your best. This murder happened after the Hero of Heroes Award ceremony, sir. The victim, Juan Carita, was found dead in his hotel room. After looking into the cause of death, we believe he was definitely murdered, sir. At first, we thought there was something suspicious about the empty guitar case. However, we later found out that the guitar case had nothing to do with the murder. But then why was the guitar missing, is the question.
After the award ceremony ended, the victim was alone in his room?
Yes, sir. Both the victim and defendant went alone to their room, sir. That's not the case. They weren't alone, because there were two plates in that room, showing that it was also Adrian that was in that room with him. So, that's already a contradiction. Although I don't think I've got anything that counters that. I don't think so. Oh, we got these. We're gonna have to use these, aren't we? Oh, God. But I told her that I wouldn't...
Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination.
Okay, here we go. Would you please give us a brief timeline of what happened after the ceremony? Okay, pal. The ceremony started at 6 p.m. It ended around 8 p.m. And then there was a short break. A special post-ceremony show was supposed to start in the lobby 30 minutes later. And that's when the victim's body was found, correct? Which is to say, the murder occurred during that 30-minute break period, sorry.
Please continue with your testimony, Detective.
The person who discovered the victim's body was Adrian Andrews, correct? Yeah.
Who is this Adrian Andrews you're talking about?
Oh, she's the defendant, Matt Unguard's manager. She's a really pretty lady, sir.
Ah, so she's a pretty lady. I wonder if she will grace us with her presence. I want to see a pretty lady.
God damn it, keep it in your pants, man. When the post-ceremony show was about to start, she went to get Mr. Ungard. After visiting his room, she next went to the victim's room to get him for the show, sir.
I see. And that's when she found the victim's body.
The cause of death. Wasn't that because Mr. Carita was stabbed in the chest? Only a careless amateur would believe something so brainless as that, pal. Take a good hard look at the crime photo. Now, a real pro's attention would be drawn here to this bandana.
Banana. We had an earlier case about bananas, right?
That was a goddamn glove, you judge. His, bandana, sir. That's the thing wrapped tightly around his neck, sir. So he was strangled to death.
Ah, yes, I see. His banana-scented bandana.
No. Then what about the knife? Well, it seems to have been stuck in the victim's chest on purpose after his death.
We have a crafty murderer on our hands here.
Ah, there we go. I got there we go. Juan's autopsy report. His time of death was 8:15 p.m. Cause, strangled with a scarf, then stabbed with a knife. Okay. Here's the question, because it really makes me wonder. Was that knife that was probably, that must be something that was intentionally placed there, possibly. That knife. And why did you think that? Well, because it was empty, pal. The Jammin' Ninja doesn't go anywhere without his bright red guitar. And we, couldn't find it anywhere at the scene of the crime.
Oh, then how about this theory? It is time for Judge to create a theory himself. I'm a genius. A fan really wanted the guitar and did the crime to get it. How's that?
We, thought of that too. But the only fingerprints on the guitar case were the victims.
Only the victims. Huh. I see.
So much for my theory then. I'll stick to being a judge.
Okay, the guitar case got updated. Okay. There's some water, but only on top of the lid. Bears Karita's fingerprints. Okay. What convinced you it had nothing to do with the case?
The guitar wasn't at the Gatewater Hotel that night.
Well then, where was it?
The bright red guitar was eventually found at the TV studio. The victim, Juan Carita, had apparently only taken the case with him, sir.
Why?
So, you mean he forgot to put the guitar inside the case?
Yes, sir. Even when he was on stage for the ceremony, he didn't have his guitar.
So, that guitar case was empty even before he got to the hotel?
Yeah, that's right. So it really had nothing to do with the case after all.
I believe that is enough. First, the victim was choked to death with his bandana. Then, after the victim was dead, the killer deliberately stabbed him with a knife. Oh, by the way, one more thing. I should have brought this up earlier. Somebody kind of told me that there actually is a bad ending to this case, and apparently it can happen like near the end or something like that, or it's best to save around the end. So whenever I get to that point, I'm going to see if I'm going to try to, if I can figure it out, try to see what this supposed bad ending is going to lead me to. Just, you know, out of curiosity, you know? I'm going to give that a try. Which brings me to my next point. Why then did the police arrest Matt on guard? Because there was reason enough to suspect him playing Fire Emblem Three Houses with Ardith. What? Here it comes. Looks like Edgeworth's back in full swing. Very well. Detective Gumshoe, please testify about this matter.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Matt on guard and Juan Carita were huge rivals with each other. They each thought that the other guy was in his way. That's motive enough in my book. As for evidence, there's the Jammin' Ninja's button. It was ripped off the ninja costume as it was found in Matt on guard's account. The defendant's fingerprints were also all over the knife. The defendant bought the knife for the crime, which makes this a premeditated murder.
Huh. So the defendant's fingerprints were found on the knife used in the stabbing.
It was sort of sticky on the handle, so the fingerprints came out pretty clearly, sir.
Bears the victim's blood and on guard's fingerprints. In the grip, Gatewater is engraved.
And then there's this button.
That was found in the defendant's clothes, was it? And is this button also covered in blood?
Yes, and we know that the blood on it is the victim's blood, sir.
What? Jammin' Ninja's button was ripped from his costume, is covered in Karita's blood, found in Unguard's Akama. Damn. All of this points very clearly to the defendant, doesn't it? Yes, it most certainly does, Your Honor. Ready to give in yet, right? I'll find the hole in your argument somehow. You can press as hard as you'd like. Just hurry up with your useless, pointless questions.
I will try.
But, in terms of popularity, Mr. Unguard won, did he not?
Yeah, but you know what's ironic, pal? Juan Carita was always one step behind Mr. Unguard and everything. This year, it seemed like he'd finally caught up, ready for the big final showdown.
But Mr. Carita lost the Grand Prix in the end. That is too bad. He must have been pretty downhearted after losing. Wait just 1 second here. Mr. OnGuard was beating Mr. Kurita in the popularity polls.
Well, yeah, I guess, but...
Which means that in the defendant's eyes, the victim was not a rival at all. Which means he had no motive to kill at all. Yes, I quite agree. Well, Detective?
It's not... Well... I guess if you put it that way, then yeah, the defendant would have had no motive.
Detective, I'm beginning to see why you were fired.
Yeah? No, not you too, Mr. Edgeworth, sir. No, that's...
I look forward to your pension negotiations.
No!
Now, Detective, let's continue with the testimony.
No. No, my poor pension too.
Oh, God. Detective! If you value your money, I suggest you proceed.
Yes, sir. We can talk about my pension later, sir.
What about what I was saying? Hello? Anyone? Good God. I feel so bad for Gumshoe, Jesus Christ. Do you have any proof that the button belonged to the victim? Easy.
Huh? What do you mean, pal?
Oh, let me put it this way. I'm asking you if you have any evidence to back up your claim that this button was ripped off of the Jammin' Ninja's costume.
Huh? But can you tell by just looking at it? And the victim's blood is on it.
Anyone could have smeared that blood on there afterward.
Mr. Edgeworth, help me. Sir?
All right, I knew it had to be this piece of evidence. Now to reel this one in. Thread. Thread from the clothing. Huh? The button was attached to the costume by thread, obviously. And that thread snapped when the button was torn off. If you match up the ends of the thread on the costume with the thread on the button, it's a perfect match.
Yeah, that's it. They're a perfect match, pal. Ugh.
That's Edgeworth for you. Never misses a beat.
At least he doesn't whip us. Well, when was this button found?
Oh, pretty soon after the body was found. We rounded up everyone who knew Mr. Kurita. And then we did a search on them all. That's when we found the button.
So it was almost immediately after the murder. The police didn't have the free time to lollygag and play tricks, unlike some people. Hey! What are you trying to say about me here? You're trying to say you're lollygagging. Tomfoolery, boondogglery. All of those. How are the fingerprints arranged on the knife?
Huh? What do you mean, pal?
By examining the fingerprints, you can determine how the defendant held the knife. For example, did he hold it normally or overhand?
Oh, is that what you meant? Well, we didn't actually think of that.
I can't believe the bumbling of this department. Hopeless. Well, you're paying attention to the testimony, right? The defendant's fingerprints were all over the knife. Oh, so they probably couldn't even tell how it was being held. There's no way to determine how the knife was held at the moment of the murder. So is the defendant the owner of this knife, then? Oh, boy. Okay, there's no way this is a premeditated murder, even if he bought the knife.
Sorry, pal. This isn't some pocket knife. It doesn't fold, so it's not great for walking around with either.
Oh, this is not good. If the prosecution can prove it was a premeditated murder, we're done for.
Phoenix,
Yes?
there's something very interesting about what the detective said just now. Think carefully before it's too late.
A button covered in the victim's blood, and a knife with OnGuard's fingerprints.
Be grateful. If the judge were more rash, he would have already pounded his gavel in closing.
Now, knowing how easy it is to mess with, you know, the judge himself, it's, yeah. We're still in a world of trouble.
Well, before any battle, you must find your enemy's weakness. So let's find the weakness in this testimony, no matter how small it may be. Okay, Phoenix?
Okay. She said something about, I think it was the last statement that she was concerned about. The defendant bought the knife for the crime, which makes this a premeditated murder. So he bought the knife. Okay, give me a second. Okay, cool, I got this. Bears the victim's blood and on guard's fingerprints, and the grip Gatewater is engraved. Oh, wait a minute, that's not right. If this is a knife from the Gatewater, he couldn't have bought it. I mean, unless... Well, no, that makes no sense. Why would a hotel suddenly just start selling their silverware? That makes no sense, so he couldn't have bought this. Objection! And I'm right. Wait a second.
What?
So, the basis of your argument that this was a premeditated murder is simply that my client bought a knife beforehand?
That's right, pal. The defendant
did not buy this knife.
Huh?
Take a good look at the handle of this knife, and you'll see what I'm talking about.
Huh?
It has a Gatewater seal set into the handle.
Gatewater? I think I've heard that name somewhere before.
That's the name of the hotel. The Gatewater Hotel. Uh-oh. The murder knife was actually property of the hotel, which means this murder was not premeditated. Indeed. Yes, that is very true. This is a very big... What is it, Mr. Edgeworth? I'm sorry, but the defense is simply too careless. What? I miss you. I think whether the crime was premeditated or not has already been determined. How so? I admit this knife is hotel property. There is no one currently in the police force that is dumb enough not to realize this.
But I didn't know. Oh.
The question is, where did this knife come from? Why, that's obvious. It came from the victim, Mr. Kurita's room. No, it came from On Guard's room. Sorry, Your Honor, but that is incorrect. The victim ate a last meal before he was murdered. With that being the case, I would like to draw the court's attention on what is on top of the table. The knife. Or a knife. There is a knife and a fork on the table. Then, where in the world did this knife come from? If it pleases the court, I would like for us to recall the room of the defendant, Mr. Matt On Guard. Yep, that was what was off about that plate. Especially what was on top of his table. There is something missing. Perhaps it is a single knife? Yep. We investigated the leftover dishes for fingerprints, and while we were investigating, we came to the conclusion that Mr. Matt On Guard's knife was missing. Ugh. Mr. On Guard had gone to the victim's room with a knife he had used during dinner. Why would he carry a knife on a visit? To kill, of course. And with that, I believe the prosecution has proven this was a premeditated murder. Fuck! That's bad. That's bad. Amazing, Mr. Edgeworth. Absolutely brilliant. A brilliantly clear deduction. It seems like Edgeworth had this planned from the very beginning. I mean... yeah. This must be one of those traps, and I just walked headlong into it. Damn it. A murder weapon with fingerprints and a button from the victim's costume. There is quite a sizable amount of evidence here. I can safely say that any further deliberation is a waste of your Honor's time. Although, I wouldn't mind if the defense were to present evidence not yet shown to the court. I mean, to be fair, there's actually... I mean... Technically there's... I don't know. Technically there's a lot of evidence that we haven't even attempted to bring up yet. Evidence not yet shown. He means evidence that the court hasn't seen yet. In other words, new evidence. What does the defense have to say about this, Mr. Wright? Well... Phoenix? The judge is favoring the prosecution right now. If we answer with something wrong here, that gavel of his will be ringing out to the sound of our defeat. Mr. Wright, do you have something important and necessary to present to this court? I don't think this is literally it. If it is, I will... Actually, you know what? Okay. There's one. One piece of evidence that catches my attention. Well, if we're looking at evidence in general, the only one that can really catch attention is probably this damn glass. Let me see something. Oh, wait, wrong picture. Oh, wait a minute. Isn't that bottle of tomato juice just kind of full? Then, Something that this court has yet to see. Mr. Wright, I will say this one more time. I do not feel this trial needs to continue at all. However, I am giving you one chance, and only one. What the judge is saying, right, is don't try pulling one of your usual bluffs here. Okay, if I mess this up, it's curtains for all of us. You may now present one and only one piece of evidence. Oh my god! Now then, what is this important evidence that you must show to the court? This? We don't know what the hell it's supposed to be. I mean, can't show that, can't show that, can't show that. That has nothing to do with anything what we're talking about. I can't talk about that. This is a wine glass, is it not? Please look at the photo of the crime scene one more time. The scene is a mess because of the victim's struggle against his assailant. The vase was broken, his makeup is all over the floor. These were all things that were at one point sitting on top of the dresser. But this one glass, however... Well, yes, I see your point. However, this glass that is sitting on top of the dresser is mysteriously untouched. The only thing that had not fallen over along with everything else is this wine glass. This piece of evidence is more than strange enough to warrant further consideration. What? What? Well, what do you all have to say? Well, yes, it is a little peculiar. Yes, isn't it? I thought it was. You can stop looking at me with those puppy dog eyes of yours now. Mr. Edgeworth? What is it, Your Honor? Your opinion. You don't need my opinion. Because there is no special meaning to that glass. What? It had to have been planted there after the murder. It's safe to say that the glass was set there after the crime took place. By the person who discovered the body, Adrian Andrews, for example. She could have easily been so shocked that she set the glass down without thinking. That's... To be fair, why would she do that? I mean, normally your reaction upon seeing somebody's, corpse your reaction isn't to just set something down safely and all that, unless it's, like, incredibly needs to be set down safely, but you would drop it, because you're seeing a body. Anything like that would shock anybody into dropping what they're doing, and what they're holding, quite literally.
That does sound very plausible, Mr. Wright.
Could Miss Andrews really have set that glass down without thinking? No! That's not how people act! If I appear weak here, the trial is over. I can look for my proof later. For now, I should trust my instinct and point with certainty.
They just might fall for it, if you're thought-provoking enough.
The defense would like to challenge the prosecution's theory. We would like to see something that proves it was Miss Andrews who set the cup on the table.
You've turned the situation on its head yet again, as usual. Mr. Edgeworth, do you have any proof to back up your claim?
There's no way he has any. He's just bluffing. Unlike Mr. Wright, I never say anything unless I have the evidence to support it. What? Are you gonna bring her in? You're not thinking hard enough today, Wright. Did you think this wine glass escaped my notice? Then... Of course it has been thoroughly inspected for fingerprints.
Fingerprints?
There were only one set of fingerprints left on this wine glass.
Only one? Well, whose were they?
They were not the victims nor the defendants. Rather, they were one Adrian Andrews. So she did leave that there. What? Bears Adrian Andrews' fingerprints. That is why I said that the person who had discovered the body had left it there. Are we done here, Mr. Wright? I can't believe I fell into another trap. Miss Andrews was probably holding the glass when she went to see Mr. Kurita. But upon seeing his dead body, she was stunned and set the glass down on the dresser.
What you said just makes a lot of sense.
Now, do you see, Wright? You can't change any part of my scenario as it explains everything all too well. I mean... I've thought long and hard this past year about what it means to be a prosecutor. And from here on out, I will show you the answer I have come to discover.
Wait a second, Mr. Edgeworth. I think the prosecution has provided enough evidence for me to enter my verdict.
Unfortunately, I cannot allow you to pass judgment yet. The prosecution has yet another witness we would like the court to hear from. I like this. This is a change. I like this. Another witness. Yes. Bailiff, please bring in the next witness.
What in the world's Mr. Edgeworth thinking?
He's trying to prove it beyond a shadow of a doubt this time. Not using any sneaky... Oh, right, she's still wearing that. He's trying to prove this without a shadow of a doubt. Not really resorting to any sort of sneaky trickery this time. Which, that's good. Now then, witness, please state your name and occupation. Witness! Your name and occupation...
Gotcha!
I wonder what happened to that calm composure he had earlier. I didn't want to deal with this woman again!
Oh, Edgy boy, it's been, what, a year since we last met, hasn't it? You should be more happy to see me.
I saw the report with her testimony, but who knew that under that helmet... It was the Wicked Witch at the witness stand!
I tell you, this time I know what I'm supposed to do. So today, I'm going to tell you anything and everything. Even things that don't have to do with that terrible crime.
Miss... Witness... that terrible crime is all this court needs to know.
Shush! I'm talking to my dear Edgy Wedgy right now. Don't interrupt us, Gramps!
Yes, madam.
No, 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 please, by all means, interrupt him, please! Anyway, witness, your testimony, please. I love this. I love this way too much.
It's true what they say, that youth are hot-headed nowadays. Not that I mind at all, Edgy. Now then, what should I start with?
The witness was on security detail at the hotel on the night of the murder. Is this correct, Miss Oldbag?
It was a great job being able to see my dearie Juan. It was almost too much for my little heart to handle.
You mean you were a fan of the victim?
Look, everyone is crazy over that on guard, saying he's cute in a fresh way or something. But not me. I wouldn't say anything so silly. After all, I have no interest in a little child like him. I'm only interested in a real man, Juan Corrida.
But those two are the same age.
Anyway, as I was saying, I was pacing in front of his room that night.
Very well. Please tell us the court what you witnessed the night of the murder.
Leave it to me, Edgy Poo.
Don't call me that, please. Oh god, his reaction is so goddamn good.
Anyway, after the ceremony, I went to pace around in the hallway in front of his room. There was something I was interested in finding out, you know? Well, since I was on the job, I made sure to keep a good eye out the whole time. That's when someone showed up. There was a man coming out of poor Juan's room. It was on guard. Matt on guard. He was trying to sneak his way out of Juan's room.
And was he in his costume or not?
So Mr. Ungod came out from the victim's room.
See, it has to be him. He's the murderer.
I see. Well, Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination.
Oh, sweet and merciful Lord, I get to do this all over again. Miss Oldbag, what was your post on that night?
The lobby. I was supposed to set up the stage for that trifling show. But I refused to help, I'll have you know. It was for that lead-headed samurai show. I even took out a few of the nails.
Maybe it was a good thing the show didn't go on.
Besides, that manager with the glasses seemed to be working hard at it without me. So I thought I'd take a break and spread my wings a little.
And that's when you went to hang around the victim's door.
Hold it!
Something you were interested in. And just what was that?
It's not some little thing I can just go around telling everyone, you know. It's a top secret between me and Juan. Ah, and Edgy Poo, of course.
Mr. Edgeworth, what is this thing she was interested in?
I have no idea. I despise gossip, Your Honor.
Gossip?
But should it prove relevant, we can always have it appended to a testimony later.
It looks like we should enforce it right now. And did the witness stay in the vicinity of the victim's door the entire time?
Hold it!
Oh? Then would you tell us the number of people who went in and out of Mr. Corrida's room?
I have no idea! I wasn't born so I could count things for those who didn't pay attention in class. That's why ever since I turned 20, I quit keeping track of how old I really am.
Yes, well, that would explain why our age was not included in the report.
In any case, the witness then saw someone, correct?
Hold it!
Who in the world was that?
I'm not allowed to say. This sort of information has to be carefully guarded from the masses, honey. The man that came out of Juan's room, he was.
Yes, he was.
I'm too scared. I can't say his name out loud.
What I wouldn't give to have Francisca's whip right about now.
Well, I guess I can tell you, since he was such a bad boy anyway.
Huh. You saw my client. Are you sure about that?
Yes, see.
Really?
Annoying brat! When I say I saw someone, I saw that person!
Why do I get a sense of deja vu? Maybe to avoid a repeat of last year, I should delve into this a bit further. Oh. Okay, now here's a real question. We know the person's face. We know what the person was carrying. We need to know what the hell he was wearing. Please tell the court about the man's clothes in more detail.
What a troublesome man you are, really. As if something like that matters.
But it does.
Now what was it? Oh, yes. It was that thing.
What thing?
That gaudy thing he's always wearing. That racing jacket.
Racing? Oh, that? Ah, he was wearing that at the detention center, too.
That thing's meant for nothing but seducing women out of their pantaloons. Man.
Is it? Right.
So, Mr. Wright, was this testimony just now important or relevant in any way?
Well, let's see. Actually, wait a minute. Well, I think it would probably be very important because the only thing that was from Juan Carita in the first place is the button, and that was found in Unguard's Hakama. So, would she have been able to see that? So, Oh, his Hakama from the costume! Oh! That's right, Hakama are basically like those weird, funky-looking pants. Or, no, it's just the outfit. It's just part of the outfit. He wouldn't be wearing that in his normal day outfit. So there's... Wait a minute. If he was out there in his normal clothes, then how the hell did that get in his costume in the first place? Oh! It is important. Of course it was important, Your Honor. Then perhaps you would like to point out what part of that testimony was important. Don't you see it, Edgeworth? Your Honor, I request what the witness said about the jacket be appended for your testimony.
I don't quite see where you're going with this, but all right. Witness, please.
Ah, well, I don't like to badmouth anyone without reason, but if I must. He was wearing his flashy racing jacket. Honestly, it's all just for show.
Aha. Well, that can be right. Are you sure the defendant was wearing a racing jacket?
What do you think? It's not like I've seen him in anything other than that horrible thing. I'm sure he was wearing it.
She's so sure of herself that it's to the point of self-absorption.
She may not remember things or be mistaken here and there, but I don't think she's lying.
That's bad for us. Really bad. Not really if my theory is correct.
But that's how the human mind is. It also has the tendency to jump off topic. She's strayed on to a few interesting side topics this time too, hasn't she? But that's what makes her a sweet old lady, right?
That's because you're not the one who has to question her. Oh, she's a delightful old bag. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna test this out. Objection! And it looks like I'm right. Miss Oldbag.
What? Don't say my name for no reason!
Do you know what this is?
Ah! It's button number 2 in the Jam Ninja's costume!
Okay, now I know she's an obsessed fan. She identified it in a single glance.
Give it here! Give it here! If you don't give it to me, I'll punish you with this! Stop trying to shoot me!
Wow, she really is a diehard fan to want a button covered in blood. This button was discovered in Mr. Unguard's body during a full body search. Not in, sorry.
See? This button proves beyond a shadow of a doubt that it was that rascal Unguard.
It was caught up in the pleats of his nickel samurai Hakama pants.
See? And on guard is the Nickel Samurai.
Witness. Now, it may just be me, and I do have an active imagination, but just now, didn't you say that the defendant, Matt Ungard, was wearing his usual racing jacket?
Oh, shit. I'm so sorry. Sorry that you judge people based on what they wear. If I wore the trendiest dress, then maybe you'd think I was a bit... I put on a little makeup, this look... You don't hear the sound of it is, right? I got a tape recorder stuck on my chest, let me tell you. It's heavy, so heavy. I was freaking out switches easy long ago. But I'm doing that gym alive for all these kids out there. I was working hard with a smile on my face, do you understand? Now take a look in the mirror. Your clothes are about as interesting as the documentary on curling. You should take a leave it of edge of poo. Now he's got style.
Oh my god! Holy shit! Oh, I need a drink! I think the longer I'm with Miss Oldbag, I'm getting better at her fast talk. Holy shit. Whew! Oh god, I'm gonna need like an entire gallon of coffee after this. Now hold your tongue still there for 1 second. Say what you saw in actuality was not Mr. Ungard the man, but Mr. Ungard the Nickel Samurai? This shit again.
What did you think about it? They're really one and the same anyway.
Miss Oldbag, this is a very important point we're talking about.
Edgy Poo, do you think so too?
Well, it might be something worth considering. Just say it's important and agree with me for a change.
No, it's against my character.
Witness, think carefully and try to remember as much as you can before you testify.
All right, if you insist.
I should be the one sighing, not you. Oh. Holy shit, man. Oh. I am just... Oh my god, okay.
Ungard, yes, now I remember. The Nickel Samurai, that's right. It was the Nickel Samurai that I saw.
Talk about the parallels.
Yes, it would have been convenient for him to wear his costume during the murder. He had to go to that post-ceremony stage show right into the crime, you know. So he must have worn that Nickel Samurai costume when he was stabbing Paul Juan.
Then wouldn't there be blood on his costume? I knew it. I knew you'd say he was inside that costume!
What? Did you think there could have been someone else inside that costume? Don't be a bad little boy, thinking such rude things.
But the possibility does exist.
Youngins today. I told you there's no way it was anyone else.
How do you know that?
Because I said so, and what I say is the truth.
At least she's just as delightful a witness as she was a year ago.
Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness.
Holy crap, okay. Here we go. Would you please get on with your testimony?
You interrupted me! Huh? Watch your language, young man. What sort of tone is that to take with an elder? My youthfulness isn't what it used to be, so you should forgive me for everything. If you keep on barking at me like that, I'll start singing at the top of my lungs!
What?
A striking figure by the sea, standing all alone is he. He's a Nickel Samurai!
She's actually singing. Someone help my poor ears.
Mr. Edgeworth, can you please do something about this racket?
Witness, I'll give you a piece of gum later if you'll be good and just stick to just the facts.
Okay! You promise, right?
Right. I'll be sending the bill for the chewing gum to your office at a later date. Remind me to send you a thank you note later too, Edgeworth, old chum. That is so goddamn hot. Be a little more careful with your testimony, please. Not too long ago you said he was wearing his racing jacket and now he's not?
Not too long ago. Then let me ask you this. When you were an itty bitty, what was your grand dream? Huh? What did you want to be when you grew up, whippersnapper?
My dream? Huh? Well, I wanted to be Judge Wagner, hero of the public's court. So what?
See? And look at where you are now. You're not Judge Wagner, are you? Are you?
Well,
What I said earlier. Who puts any weight into things like that? And now is everything. I can't be held responsible for the past.
since when did court become theatrics over testimonies?
All that matters is that man was inside the costume. Isn't that enough?
You're a wild one. And why would that be?
That way, no one could see his face, of course.
But there's still no advantage for him that I can see. In fact, you would think the costume would make him stand out all the more.
You are such an annoying child, you know that? You disagree with everything I say.
Isn't that what you're always doing to me?
I got it! Maybe it was more troublesome for him to change in and out of his costume. Hold it!
Was there anyone else scheduled to appear at the post-ceremony show?
Well, all the contestants were supposed to go on stage in a friendly gesture thing.
And that included the Jammin' Ninja.
Of course it included him. That's why when On Guard came out of dear Juan's room, I didn't give it a second thought.
I see.
Well, anyway. Hold it!
So, let me ask you one last time. The person you saw, it really was the Nickel Samurai.
As showy as ever. Haven't I been saying that from the very beginning?
Can I throw in the towel yet? No?
You don't need to think too hard on this one.
Huh?
There's a contradiction in your testimony, and it's sitting in plain sight. The question is, what that contradiction means for us.
Well, I have to figure out what you're talking about first, but okay. Let's see. Oh! I think I got it. So, if he was wearing the Nickel Samurai costume, then how did his fingerprints get on the knife that was being used to stab him? Or, that was being used to stab Juan? I mean, I think I've got something here that lets me... Yeah, okay, so the Nickel Samurai has gloves and also a mechanical arm. That shit wouldn't leave fingerprints, as far as I'm aware. So, if the murderer was wearing the Nickel Samurai costume, then how is there even fingerprints on this in the first place? Unless those are the fingerprints that have been on the knife from the very beginning. So, I mean, was there any sort of, like, is there like material made from the gloves and all that that could be found, like traces of that on the knife itself? But anyway, what my argument here is that if that was really Matt Ungard and he was supposedly in his costume, then how the hell did the fingerprints get on the knife that was being used to stab Juan?
Objection!
Please take a look at this.
Yeah, so it's a knife. Big deal. If you're trying to scare me with that, I'll have you know it won't work.
No, that's not my intention at all.
That's the knife that was used in the murder, correct?
Your Honor, do you know why this piece of evidence is important to this case?
You don't even have to ask. It's because the defendant's fingerprints are on it.
Oh. Is that what you're driving at? That is exactly what I'm driving at.
What are we driving at? And whose car are we driving? Are we going to McDonald's? Can I get a Big Mac?
If Mr. Ongard was really in the Nickel Samurai costume, the middle samurai, I'm an idiot, at the time of the murder, then it's impossible for his fingerprints to have been left on this knife. Again, technically, it is not necessarily impossible because he used that knife to eat with, but... Actually, he would have wiped all previous fingerprints on this knife right off. Oh yeah, there was also that.
Oh, that's right. The Nickel Samurai wears gloves, doesn't he?
He probably took his gloves off before he began the stabbing. Why would he do that? why would he do something like that? To leave his prints on the murder weapon? There's no way he would do something like that. However, there is one possibility. Then let's hear your possibility. It's very simple. The defendant went to the victim's room while in costume as a Nickel Samurai. At that time, the defendant held no intent to murder. He was probably just going to relax and talk with the victim about the stage show. Which is why he took his gloves off. That's not a bad way of looking at it.
But the murder still did take place.
It's well known that there is bad blood between the defendant and the victim.
Yes, I have heard that before. Well, Mr. Wright, what do you have to say about Mr. Edgeworth's theory?
Okay, so let me get this straight. Edgeworth's theory goes like this. When the defendant went to the victim's room, he had no intention of killing him. Now, up to this point, are there any problems with this theory? Well, there is a contradiction. I mean, this is obvious. Why would he bring the knife in the first place? This theory contradicts something in an earlier testimony. What are you babbling about? Now, for argument's sake, let's suppose Mr. Ungard was the killer. If that's the case, I think it's impossible for the killer to have gone to the victim's room without intent. AKA, why would he bring the knife with him in the first place? Take that! This knife, this was used by Mr. Ungard at dinner.
Yes, we did establish that.
Which means that if my client was in fact the killer, then he brought this knife with him when he went to visit Mr. Kurita. I suppose. However, you just said it yourself. At that time, the defendant held no intent to murder. If that were true, then why would he bring a knife? He wouldn't, would he? Which means, Mr. Edgeworth, your theory was flawed from supposition 1.
Neat.
And one more thing. If the murderer was wearing the costume at the time of the murder, then there should be glove marks left on the knife. Okay, so my initial thought about there being possibly glove marks on the knife is true too. I was going along the lines if there was like some sort of fabric. I don't know exactly what the suit is made of, but usually there would be trace amounts of whatever material that is on there. Or at least some sort of trace, something that lets you know that that was there. Because I'm pretty sure stuff like leather would leave like some sort of mark, or like latex would leave something. Which means the defendant's fingerprints shouldn't be all over like bees on a hive. And that brings me to my final point. This knife was planted by the real killer to hide their identity and mislead us.
Order! Order, I say! Order in the court! Was this knife really planted by the killer? Why would the murderer do such a thing?
Obvious, to frame Matt Ungard. It's to frame my client, Mr. Ungard, of course.
To frame?
Aren't you forcing the interpretation just a little too hard on this one? No! But we just established that the witness saw the Nickel Samurai in costume. And if that were true, then there shouldn't be a single fingerprint on this knife. Witness?
Looks like I made your life a tiny bit more difficult, huh, Edgy Poo?
Witness, did you or did you not really see the Nickel Samurai?
Well, I guess at first I might have forgotten, but...
Are you saying you mixed up Mr. Ungard with the Nickel Samurai? His character on TV?
But I mean, I can't really do anything about that now. Look, I was waiting around in front of the doors because, well, I wasn't waiting around for the Nickel Samurai, that's for sure.
Huh? She wasn't waiting for the Nickel Samurai? Alright then, who were you waiting around for then?
That's top secret to anyone outside of security.
Who are you? Do I have anything that's... Huh.
I have a feeling that you are waiting for Mr. Juan Carita. Am I correct, witness?
The way you think, you're a sad immature with a terrible case of nearsightedness.
Amateur? Me? What am I an amateur of?
So Old Bag was waiting around in front of the victim's room. But it doesn't sound like she was waiting to catch a glimpse of Mr. Carita.
Maybe. Phoenix! Maybe that Old Bag was waiting around for that person.
Well, there's only 3 people in the corridors to those rooms. To the left is Mr. Carita's room, which that's where Juan is. And the only 2 people in the other room are Matt Ungard and Adrian. So, by process of elimination, she would not like Matt. So, if we're going by process of elimination, she'd have to be waiting for Miss Andrews. If that's who I think Mia's hinting at, it's certainly possible. Miss Oldbag, you were waiting for this person to come out of the victim's room, weren't you? Let's test this.
Who is this person?
This is Adrian Andrews, Mr. Ungard's manager.
But why would the defendant's manager be in the victim's room?
It seems that this is the latest rumor in circulation, Your Honor.
This is... I see. Oh, that Big Mac looks delicious.
The judge seems to be really into the article, if it can be called such a thing.
Then this manager with the initials AA, are you saying it's...
Adrian Andrews. Without a doubt, the witness thought so as well.
Looks like you found me out. Well, that's fine. I can throw away this whole sworn to confidentiality stuff then.
Witness, what in the world are you...
Watch out, Phoenix. I've got a bad feeling about this. A very bad feeling.
Oh, fuck.
That's not good.
I got some information. Some very secret information from a certain source.
Certain source?
So that's why I was doing my own little investigation. In secret, of course.
But what for?
Oh, just for myself. Personal reasons and all that.
You got to be kidding me.
Well, Mr. Edgeworth, how will you proceed from here?
I really don't want to do this. However, I cannot simply let this point slide.
I see. Very well then. Witness, please testify about the secret information.
Get ready. This is going to take the wind out of you, youngins.
I'm sure we're all capable of handling this. Really, it's not like we're 10 years old. I mean, maybe. Alright, what do you got, Old Bag?
That Ungard is one evil man. He thought he could ruin poor Juan by causing a huge scandal. So to do that, he sent his own manager to get in close with Juan. I cannot condone such dirty tricks, so I took action. Oh, and this is top secret. You got that? Nobody else but you and me know yet, okay?
Okay.
The defendant and his manager. What a distasteful topic for this court.
What? Nobody's above gossip. And isn't there saying the truth is never pleasant?
Never heard that one before.
Mr. Edgeworth, what about this Adrian Andrews person?
We haven't looked into this matter, and found that the truth the article proposes is, in fact, baseless gossip.
But should this be true, then this proves that the defendant did bear ill will towards the victim.
So, this means I have to smash this rumor once and for all.
Now then, Miss Wright, you may cross-examine the witness.
Oh boy.
Be careful. The Old Bag seems rather excited right now.
That's right! Ungard is nothing but your average foul-blooded youth!
Well, as the old saying goes, you gotta burn old bags with fire. I'm pretty sure arson is not the way we should do this. Time to fire up the afterburners and hit the highway to the danger zone. Oh god. Oh boy.
Hold it!
Holy fuck. You can't say something like that without proof. That's just slander.
But it's true! That woman was getting intimate with poor Juan! Look, it says so right here, doesn't it? Manager of the Stars, Miss AA.
But the name of the magazine this came from is Gossipland.
What? Are you saying that gossip is all just a pack of lies?
I mean, gossip is gossip.
What do you know? I suppose next you'll swear to me that the news is 100% truth. Honestly, Sonny, you can't discriminate between the news and gossip.
Oh, dear Lord. Yes, discrimination is bad, Mr. Wright.
Discriminate? When did I do anything like that?
Anyway, God would never get me to say touche.
What? Okay. A scandal? What do you mean by that?
You're a dim-witted one, aren't you? I can't believe you don't know what a scandal is. Honestly, what are they teaching kids in middle school these days?
No, I wasn't asking what the word scandal means. Even I know that much.
Well, that God thought he could own a monopoly on popularity.
Okay. You don't have any proof to Mr. Ungard did any such thing.
You must be suffering from shock. The shock of hearing the truth. And now that you're in such much shock, you can't do anything right.
You're right. I can't do anything. But boy, do I wish I could do something about you.
Alright then, Sonny. Show me what you've got. Can you show me proof that Mr. Ungard didn't bear any ill will towards Juan?
I'm pretty sure that he doesn't have an ill will against him, I think. I don't have anything to offer.
See? Just as I thought. And you lecturing me about saying things that are proof. You just give me a free pass, say whatever I want, silly boy.
Me and my big mouth.
That's the way the cookie crumbles for you anyway.
I'm kind of happy that I didn't get punished for that. So, what do you mean by I took action?
Like I already told you, I was lying in wait close to the crime scene. Once a slimy woman came out of Juan's room, I was going to capture her and teach her a good lesson. Something you youngins need.
You are going to teach her a good lesson.
I was going to make her eat the damaging beams of my ray gun. Like this.
No, stop, please! I'm weak to that!
Well, it was too bad that woman didn't come through the door that night.
Wait.
What? I'm a busy woman. Tea time with the kids is over.
Secret information that no one else knows about. If that's true, then how do you know the secret information?
Huh? Well, I'm a pro. Yeah, that's it. It's a secret. Even if you drilled a hole into my brain, you'll never find out.
How in the world did that old bag get such a secret piece of information? I need... press further. If you don't be a good girl and tell me where you got the secret information, you won't get to go home today!
Edgy Poo, what are you doing? Help me! What do I have to do with this? Just do this for me. You'll get your reward.
I don't want your reward, but you don't leave me much of a choice. The witness could have gotten her information from anywhere. It's even possible that it was spontaneously made up inside the witness's head. And he lectures me on reckless blabbering.
As long as we don't know where this information came from, it's quite a waste of time to focus on this line of questioning.
Where did Bag get her inside information? There has to be something I can use to figure it out. Sounds like just another tidbit of gossip, doesn't it?
But you can't just ignore it either. It makes your client look bad either way.
Well, I don't think I heard anything really out of the ordinary just now. I'm just more concerned about the actual, like, you know, just the information itself.
There has to be something that Chaos Spin can catch her on with Overwatch.
What? Yeah. When I find it, I'm going to press the heck out of it. Okay. Let's see. This is what I think I need to work on here. I'm gonna try a different approach this time. Instead of pressing, I'm gonna see. I'm gonna try something here. Say it's a secret, but let me see something here. I'm thinking about presenting some information, or evidence at least. Let's see. Lada's camera is missing, so I assumed it might have been DeKiller that stole it. However, what if it was Oldbag? What if this secret information that she got was she actually took a picture of what happened? Maybe not what happened, but in the hallway between the rooms. So I'm gonna give this a try. She might be the one that actually has the camera. So no one else is supposed to know this secret information, correct? If that's true, then why do you know it, Miss Oldbag?
Why are you looking at me like that? Stop it!
Witness! I hate to say it, but this is how you came to acquire your secret info, isn't it? It's totally this, isn't it? Take that! The investigative photographer, Lada Hart.
Oh yes, I remember that mischievous girl. Her hair was delightful. It reminded me of a bloomin' onion.
She reported that she had lost a certain note she had written to herself.
She reported such a thing?
Oh shit, I didn't even think about that. Maybe it was the note that she found. Oh! Ugh. I was under the assumption that she stole the camera, but no, maybe it was the note. On that piece of paper, she had written down some of her outrageous, impressions about the relationship between the victim and Miss Andrews.
What? Outrageous ideas, you say?
No, I said impressions.
Then everything went on this piece of paper is clearly meaning this!
You have the paper!
Ah, that's it! That's the note!
No, you see, this is something completely different! This is my time to get a list of groceries to buy!
Ah, then you are the one who took Miss Hart's note?
I'm a huge fan of Juan's, that's why! That infamous puffy-haired whippersnapper. She's working with that evil On Guard. She said so herself. On Guard, I'm a psychic. She's so happy, smiling like a silly duck. I was only checking what she had written.
Dude. The fuck? Even I'm just calling bullshit on that.
What? Edgy Poo, you believe me, don't you? I was only trying to help out like the angel I am. I don't need one little piece of paper. I've never taken anything else before.
You really should come with a supply of cheese to match your vintage wine. That's actually pretty good.
Well, it is only a piece of paper. I suppose we can overlook this just once.
No! She looks like she's really sorry. Should I forgive her? Freaking pile on more pressure, you dumb fuck! If I let up on her now, she'll get away. I have to find some way to inflict a deafening blow to the prosecution. Witness! You said that the only thing you stole was that note. She's gotta have the camera because the note was with the camera. Is this correct?
Stole? Why don't you listen more carefully, you annoying brat? I see this piece of paper from the terrible lonely trash can, that's all.
You're lying, damn it! And I can prove it!
Are you putting my credibility under scrutiny again?
Miss Oldbag, I don't believe that the note was the only thing you stole that night. Because the goddamn note was with the camera. Miss Oldbag, that note was with the camera inside its case, wasn't it?
A camera?
Yesterday, Lada Hart was raising a huge stink over her camera. She kept saying something like, "My sweetie, $1,600 camera disappeared on me." My god, that was a good impression. Thank you, I've been practicing.
What? Why did you sound like a woman? Witness!
What is it, Gramps?
If you have the note, then it is only logical that you have the camera too.
Looks like you found me out again, Sonny. Is this the camera you're looking for?
That's...
What? Even though I look like this, I'm still a person, you know? I still eat meals like you. I fall in love and borrow things from people.
I think your definition of borrow is a little off.
I saw that woman's business card, and that's what I noticed. It said, Slimebag Celebrity Photographer Extraordinaire. Well, when I saw that, I didn't know what sort of picture she had taken. I'm a professional security guard. It's my business to know these things.
Oh, dear Lord.
Bailiff! Check this camera's photos, hurry! We must examine them at once.
Give me a moment to drink, please. Holy fuck. Voicing old bag is fucking ridiculous. But I'm still having fun doing it.
Well, Mr. Edgeworth, what do we have?
Well, there's only one photo that seems to be relevant to this case.
Please present it to the court.
Show me.
Oh my. This is the Nickel Samurai. No, it's not. I already noticed something wrong about this. Whoever is wearing that costume is not tall enough. As you can see with the feet right here, they're sticking out. This is very reminiscent of the previous case. Or not the previous case, but from the first game. Whoever is wearing this costume is not tall enough to actually wear it. The hakama is like, you know, or not the hakama, but you know what I mean, the pants. They are significantly lowered. So whoever is wearing that is not tall enough.
This is the Nickel Samurai.
See, I told you, that's the guy I saw.
This proves that the witness was not lying earlier about this matter.
There we go.
What does this all mean, Mr. Edgeworth?
This photo by itself does not prove that the person in it is the defendant. However, in his own confession, Mr. Ongod clearly stated that at the time of the murder, he was still in his Nickel Samurai costume.
If that is the case, then this Nickel Samurai is...
the defendant.
No, it's not.
How did it come to this? I think this brings us to the end. We've examined every piece of evidence thoroughly. Final comments, Mr. Wright. The court will consider them before we close. Do you agree that this photo is decisive evidence against your client?
If this photo really is decisive, then we're done for. But if I raise an objection here and blow it, then I put Maya's life in jeopardy. Is this it? Is this the point where it's supposed to be like a bad end? Hold on. I mean, this is part 1 trial, so there's probably another part to this. If I raise an objection here and blow it then I would put Maya's life in jeopardy. I can't make a mistake here. There's only one road out of this mess. This photo that Lotta took, there is something wrong with it. Okay, I got 2 save files, so if I'm wrong about this, I can just kind of go back. So there is something strange about it. There's something strange with this photo. I knew this was coming, right?
Your thoughts, Mr. Edgeworth?
I think we can all agree there's something strange with this photo. There's no way for the defense to debunk this photo, even with a bunker buster.
Debunk with the bunker buster? Is that what you're planning to do, Mr. Wright? I will have you know I have a bunker myself. I take good care of it. You will not debunk it.
What? Anyway, please look at the photo one more time.
If you really believe you can honestly find something wrong with this photo, then you should only need one chance, correct?
Well, I have to find something wrong with this photo. I can't let this chance go by. Where in the heck did she take this photo from anyway? It's all out of focus. Why can't you take a good shot, especially when it counts?
Now then, let's hear your objection. What about this photo is strange?
This right here. Whoever's in the costume is not tall enough.
I would like to direct the court's attention to this one area right here.
What are you pointing to? His ankles?
If you could see this person's ankles, that would be one thing. However, you can't. And what does that mean? The costumed person in this photo could not have been Mr. On Guard.
What is the meaning of this?
I wonder if you would care to elaborate. With actual facts, that is. Let's take a look at the Nickel Samurai's poster. Yeah. Please pay particular attention to the area around the bottom of the Hakama.
His socks. You can see his socks.
Exactly. However, in this photo, the Nickel Samurai is clearly holding his Hakama up by just to walk. Sorry. There's only one explanation for this. The person inside this costume is clearly much shorter than the defendant. All right, I think I've turned things around for myself this time. That's curious. Huh? What is? Edgeworth is unusually calm today. That's true. He's just letting the trial run itself as if he's only along for the ride. Along for the ride? What do you mean by that? I can only guess that perhaps he doesn't feel under attack at all. He doesn't feel under attack. Then I haven't damaged his case at all?
Mr. Edgeworth, where does this leave us? If the person in this photo is not Matt on guard, then everything the prosecution has tried to prove has become meaningless.
Okay, Edgeworth, what do you got, buddy? I figured it would come to this. What? Right. I have something I want to ask you. I think you have proven that the person inside this costume is not Matt Ungod. In that case, who is this a photo of? Who is the person wearing the Nickel Samurai costume? Don't stress out over this, Phoenix. It's very simple. What you should be focused on is Edgeworth's attitude, don't you think? Yeah, he's extremely... Yeah, why is he so calm? He's extremely calm! But, Oh, shit! Oh, no! Oh, no, I'm gonna have to bring in Adrian, aren't I? If I accuse her of being the one in the outfit, I'm gonna be going against what I told I wouldn't... Oh god, I'm gonna have to end up bringing up that information about the suicide attempt, and I told myself I wouldn't do that. Wait. Oh no. Oh no. Oh dear. Oh shit. There's a possibility that this might drag the case out a little bit more. Then, if that's the case, oh shit.
Mr. Wright, let's hear your thoughts. Who is the person in this photograph?
It would have to be Adrian, but... Oh shit! I don't know how long I've been recording, but if we don't... we were supposed to get an innocent verdict in one day, immediately on the first day. If we go for recess and end it here right now, oh shit, Maya's fucked. Fuck. Wait a minute, no. Wait, what if she? No, the killer said that she's tired, but isn't there a possibility that we had that scene where she used that card to try to unlock the door, so she could have possibly escaped, but then that causes a bit of a time discrepancy of when he called us and when she was able to escape in the first place. Oh shit.
Take that!
Adrian Andrews? Please tell me we're just gonna continue. We're having like a short recess and we'll just continue this. If you want to know who that Nickel Samurai is, it's none other than this woman.
And why would you say it must be Miss Andrews?
What in the world points you to her? For starters, she's short. And she can freely move in and out of Mr. Onguard's room. Finally, she had dinner with Mr. Onguard that night. And how does that all add up? It means that it makes it very easy for her to get a certain item. A certain knife with Mr. Onguard's fingerprints all over it. The knife that was used as a murder weapon.
Why don't you just say what it is you want, right?
I have to do this now. This is my last chance to turn things around. The defense moves to indict Miss Adrian Andrews in the murder of Juan Carita. It was Miss Andrews who tried to frame the defendant for the crime. Order! 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 It looks like this trial has had the most unexpected development. Mr. Edgeworth?
Yes, Your Honor.
This court is issuing a subpoena for Miss Adrian Andrews. A verdict cannot be passed without first hearing her testimony. All right, this is it. This is kind of bad for us. Huh? What do you mean? If Adrian Andrews is summoned to court as a witness, it means that the trial will go on for another day. Fuck! I knew it! If I don't get a verdict today, then Maya. Now then, we shall set Miss Andrews' testimony for tomorrow. What am I supposed to do? The judge is about to adjourn the court. Raise an objection. Do it today. Now then. Please, Your Honor, continue the trial. You must pass a verdict today. I can't do that. We cannot hear Miss Andrews. I am bored wasting such valuable time. Edgeworth?
Your Honor,
I request that you please continue with today's trial. Please tell me you're able to understand why we need this to be done. But we cannot continue due to this unexpected development.
Unexpected development? I think you underestimate me, Your Honor.
And what do you mean by that?
That Mr. Phoenix Wright would slave his way to subpoena Miss Adrian Andrews is all happening according to plan, even if Wright was a bit slow to catch on.
What? Mr. Edgeworth, you fucking planned this. What is the meaning of your statement, Mr. Edgeworth? Here's the thing, though. What if Edgeworth already knows the actual truth of the case?
Miss Adrian Andrews is currently waiting in the prosecution's lobby. She is the next witness.
Holy crap. Everything was planned out in advance by that man. Somehow I knew there was no way Edgeworth would overlook Miss Andrews. Looks like this battle is far from over.
Exactly.
Very well. We will call the next witness. However, before we proceed, we shall take a 10-minute recess. Please prepare your witness in that time, Mr. Edgeworth. The court will now take a 10-minute recess. God damn it, Edgeworth, I love you. Holy fuck. God damn, that was a... Holy fuck. Oh. Oh. Oh my god, that's a relief. Oh, god damn it, Edgeworth, I love you, man. Thank you so much. I told myself I was gonna try to get this all done in a single setting, but god damn, I don't think I can. I'm gonna have to take like a break or something, because I'm getting lightheaded. Okay. So we're implicating Adrian Andrews in the murder and all that. Woo! I'm out. Thank thank you all very much for watching. I'm taking a break. Thank you all so much for watching. I'm out. Thank you guys. See you next time.